Moshi mosh.
園崎の妹の方です。こんにちは。今はお時間大丈夫ですか？
シオンか。ミオンと同じで今日は寝不足で寝込んでるんじゃないかと思ったぜ。
ひょっとしてお姉早退ですか？お姉らしい。
Keiichi had no idea that the Mion he saw earlier was actually me. He didn't notice when we talked in person, so there's no way he would notice on the phone. I never knew that playing two roles would be so much fun. To feel such enjoyment in this game of life or death. Maybe I was getting used to this situation. Or maybe my senses had gone numb.
ごめんな。ちょっと親が電話待ちをしてるんで、そんなに長話はできないんだ。何の用だ？
お話ししたいことがあったんですけど、長電話が無理じゃ仕方ないですね。
じゃあさ、会って話をしないか。ついでに図書館にも案内してもらえるとありがたい。
図書館って駅前の私立図書館ですか？別にいいですよ。バイトのついでってことで。
We decided to meet in Okiniamiya. It wasn't easy to get there from Hinamizawa. But I had to hurry. I couldn't run into Keiichi as he was heading there himself. I recalled that the key to the hag's motorcycle was in her secret drawer. The hag usually got driven around for public events, but when she had her own errands, she rode her motorcycle. Keiichi, I assumed, was going to ride his bicycle. I tried to get it to Okiniamiya before he did. Keiichi arrived quite a bit later than me. Motorcycles are faster after all. There were hardly any traffic lights to worry about on the way here either.
ミオンと違ってシオンは待ち合わせ時間を守るな。しみじみ。
お姉を標準にされるといろいろと困ります。
Hopefully your sister's not like starving to death. But I'm sure she's fine.
少しフラフラしてないか？お前も昨夜は寝不足だろ。隠しても無駄だぞ。で、学校を早退したに違いない。
残念でした。私はそもそも今日はずる休みしてますので。私、お姉より容量いいですから。
おいおい、学校をずる休みするの容量いいとは言わないと思うぞ。
じゃあ先に用事を片付けます？時間もそんなにないですから。図書館へ行くんですよね。
ああ、頼むよ。おふくろの借りてる本の返却期限が今日。図書館は遠いのか？
すぐ近くですよ。
I meant it when I said we didn't have much time. I had to hurry a little. You know, and I know now that I'm saying that, oh, well, I remember this happening before. Well, obviously people are going to say, well, don't you also remember when you went into the storehouse earlier? But I guess it's all probably just the same timeline or story or whatever it is. But it kind of cemented it more in place when the last event happened, talking out in front of the school. And this as well, I suppose. I was just going to talk to him on the phone, but I ended up coming all the way to Okiniamiya. After our talk, Keiichi would slowly head back to Hinamizawa on his bicycle. I'd have to rush back there while making sure I didn't run into him. Otherwise, I couldn't make it on time for the meeting. Maybe I could be a little late, but since I needed to hear everything they were going to discuss, I didn't want to be. This was the Shishabone Public Library. It was sizable, filled with a collection of moldy, smelly books. But they did have air conditioning, and it was quiet. It was the perfect place for when you wanted to be alone. After Satoshi-kun disappeared last year, I came here a lot to think about various things. This was where I first met Takano-san. I didn't want to run into her with Keiichi in tow. But then I remembered that she was already dead. Whoops. The first floor of the building was occupied by government offices. The library itself was on the second floor, so he had to walk up a huge staircase to get there. I tasted cool air on my skin as soon as I walked through the automated door. Unlike outside, it was very quiet in here. The room temperature was both comfortable and suitable for books. I could smell the scent of old pages.
どこの図書館も似たようなもんだな。
Keiichi walked up to the return table after he said so. Because it was a weekday, there was hardly anyone around. It really was very quiet. I was going to chat about some ordinary things, and then move on to the main subject. After Keiichi returned the books, I invited him into the inner section of the library. Keiichi knew Mion well, but he didn't know me at all. He showed an interest in our life story. This was exactly where Takano-san told me about the true history of Hinamizawa a year ago. I was about to tell Keiichi about things that were very similar to that. Did God have a sense of irony?
言われてみれば、例のおもちゃ屋も親類の人が経営してるみたいだったな。そういえば、エンジェルモートも親類の人が経営してるんじゃないのか？
I told him the reason why the Sonozaki family was so powerful in this area. I assumed that since Keiichi came from the city, there was a good chance he couldn't even begin to understand how one old family could literally control an entire area. Unless I explained to him how powerful the Sonozaki family was, he wouldn't understand what kind of danger was barreling towards him.
特に金融・不動産関係は強いですね。あと商工会議所の役員も何割かは園崎姓かその親類がついてます。沖宮一帯を評伝に市議会議員と県議会議員にも園崎がいますし。
ちょっと待て。なんだかすごい話になってきたぞ。沖宮の町中に親類が経営する店があって、特に金融・不動産に強い。しかもその上、商工会議所の役員の何割かが親類で、しかも地元選出の議員までいて。
Keiichi counted with his fingers. He was clearly surprised to hear all that about the Sonozaki family. It seemed he was flexible enough to accept even something that sounded outrageous to him. He was starting to understand things, although slowly. The way he viewed Shion Sonozaki was changing little by little too. That should be enough background information. Now I could go on to explain about Mion Sonozaki, the successor. Then I'd change the subject like Takano-san did with me. I'd go on to talk about the curse of Oyashiro-sama, and then the series of mysterious deaths.
ひょっとして、園崎家って、この辺り一帯じゃ、すごいんじゃ。
Oh, dang it, Oishi!
すごいんです。
A fat man with a cigarette suddenly cut into our conversation. Oishi? Why was he here?
どうも、こんにちは。
Konnichiwa.
今日はデートですかな？羨ましいですね。
そうだと思ったら邪魔しないでほしかったですね。おいさん。
What timing? It couldn't be coincidence. I knew this man too well. He was crafty, sly, and clever. His presence here just can't be a coincidence. Did he see us somewhere in town and follow us? But why? Did he need something from me, Keiichi, or perhaps the both of us? From what I could guess, I didn't think it was me that he wanted something from. It was almost like he was trying to keep Keiichi away from me. Oishi was aware I gave false testimony to protect Satoshi-kun last year. Maybe he didn't think he could talk to Keiichi if I was around. Why did Oishi need to talk to Keiichi? I think if I remember right, at this point we we talk to him for a little bit, but we break off pretty soon, and then Keiichi goes to talk with him for a while. If I remember right, anyway. It must be about the incident from yesterday. I'm sure there were plenty of plainclothes officers at the festival, so they had to have seen who was the last with the victims. In other words, Keiichi and me. But Oishi knew I was hard to deal with. That was why I was focusing on Keiichi at present. Why did he have to show up at a time like this?
前原さんでしたよね。あなたもタフな人ですね。園崎姉妹を二股かけるなんて。
いや、そんな二股だなんて。
Keiichi looked at me, hoping for assistance. He blushed. The way he panicked reminded me of Satoshi-kun. That aside, this wasn't going well. Oishi might even start talking about my relationship with Satoshi-kun. I didn't want him to, nor did I want Keiichi to have any preconceptions. Oishi took a quick glance at me. His eyes told me something. He was purposefully talking about the things I'd rather not talk about. He was basically telling me to leave, or he continued on to something that was worse than what they were currently talking about. He didn't use words, but his eyes clearly communicated that anyway. Dang, that big fat weasel!
ごめんなさい、ケイちゃん。私もうバイトの時間なんです。
あ、そうなのか？
I realized that I wouldn't achieve anything like this if I stayed longer, so I used my part-time job as an excuse to leave. Oishi looked at me and grinned. Dang it. He won today, but I'll win next time.
そういえば、今日はシオン、何か話があるんじゃなかったのか？なんなら。
うん、また今度。あ、バイトが終わったら電話します。夜なら電話大丈夫ですよね？
ああ、大丈夫だと思う。
じゃあ、今夜電話しますので、その時に。じゃあ。
And he was never heard from again. But I guess that's the end of that section for us. With Keiichi, anyway. The hag's motorcycle had become my primary means of transportation. My next stop was the staff meeting at the Frude Shrine's Assembly Hall. It was easy to imagine how a normal meeting would play out if it were just celebrating the end of the Watanagashi. But today's staff meeting was likely to be as strained as the Sonozaki family councils. Yes, this staff meeting was going to deal with the heart of Hinamizawa. I couldn't let my guard down, even for a moment. I rested for a while at the house, then left for the meeting. I walked up the long staircase to the Frude Shrine. At the top, I saw some elderly men smoking in front of the hall. Since they had a minor fire a long time ago, it had been made into a non-smoking area.
あれ、ミオンちゃんかい。
The head of the Kimiyashi family, Uncle Kimiyashi, noticed me and waved. He must not have expected Mion to come alone. Normally it would have been either the hag by herself, or Mion tagging along as an assistant.
バッチャは夕べのあれ以来機嫌を相当悪くしちゃいまして、誰も近づけず布団にこもりきりです。
They all understood how troublesome she was when in a bad mood. They smiled bitterly in sympathy.
じゃあ今日はミオンちゃんがそのお嬢さんから話とか聞いてる？
一応。
What did he mean, has Oryu-san told you anything? That line by itself didn't really explain much. The staff meeting was usually led by the mayor, the head of the Kimiyashi family. And he'd asked me as a substitute for the Sonozaki family head if I'd heard anything from her. I then realized who was supposed to lead today's staff meeting.
おじじゃなくて、君吉さん、今日の会合だけど、司会
Oh, this is gonna be awkward.
私じゃないと。
According to the ranking order at the family councils, any substitute for the Sonozaki family head is above the Kimiyashi family head. In other words, I'd have to lead today's meeting. There's no way I could do that.
大丈夫大丈夫。おじいちゃんがやるから。ミオンちゃんは座ってればいいよ。お嬢さんから聞いてる話があったら話してくれればいいから、ね。
Well, that was oddly convenient.
村長、そろそろ始めますかいね。全員揃いましたね。
The smokers put out their cigarettes and went back into the hall. The tables were set in a horseshoe shape, and I was told to sit next to the chair reserved for the chief. The seat opposite mine was empty. Considering its location, it was probably for the Furude family head, Rika Furude. But somebody had said earlier that everybody was already here. Either Rika-chama had called an absent, or the empty seat was just a formality. Knowing the subject of this meeting, I don't think that the Furude family head would even want to attend. Even if Rika-chama had actually attended, she wouldn't be able to say anything. All she'd usually do at the Sonozaki family councils was draw pictures on a notepad. She would probably end up drawing pictures in this meeting too. Besides, they probably didn't want her to hear anything unpleasant. In this way, the empty Furude family seat was easily explained. When everyone was seated, the head of the Women's Association served tea. She gave me an evil look, trying to tell me to help out. I got up and did so. After that, everyone fell quiet, and the secretary stood up.
それでは皆さん、本日は大変お忙しい中、緊急にお集まりいただきまして、誠にお疲れ様です。それでは初めに、村長さんからご挨拶をいただきます。村長、どうぞ。
座ったままで
Why are you so close to me?
ケンちゃんも座ったままでいいよ。今日は平日の夕方にお集まりいただきまして誠にありがとうございました。また昨日は綿流しを本当にお疲れ様でございました。おかげさまで本年も事故もなく大変な盛況のうちに終了させることができました。
Aside, of course, from the whole murder thing.
祭りにも村中から大勢がいらっしゃり、本当に素晴らしい祭りになったものと思うとります。来たの何人だっけ？大本営発表だと5000人だそうです。
Wow. Wahahaha. Everyone laughed except me.
今後もますますの文化の向上のために一丸となって頑張ってまいりたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。
Clap, clap, clap. In applause, with only 8 people doesn't sound so great.
それでは引き続き議事の方に入ってまいりたいと思います。本日の議事を君吉村長さんにお願いしようと思います。承認していただける方は拍手でご承認願います。
Clap, clap, clap.
ありがとうございます。それではただいま万座でのご承認をいただきましたんで、君吉村長さんに司会を譲りたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
どうもケンちゃんお疲れ様。では司会を引き継ぎましたので、申し訳ない。カーテン閉めましょうかね。
Everyone closed the curtains nearest to them. The sun was still up, but with all the curtains closed, the room became very dark. The village chief explained the details of the incident, as well as what went on with the police. A police vehicle discovered Tomitaki-san's body on the way back to Okinomiya last night. Oishi's special curse unit was standing by, expecting something to happen for the 5th time, so they responded quickly. Since Tomitaki-san and Takano-san were rarely apart, Oishi got in touch with the neighboring prefectural police departments and asked them to look for her. As a result, they found a burned body of a woman in the mountains of the Gifu prefecture. and the body was then identified as Mio Takano. Considering the circumstances, the police ended up labeling the incident as the fifth of the ongoing series of mysterious deaths. When he finished, there was dead silence. I watched to see who would speak first. Nobody said a thing. Then I noticed Kimiyoshi-san looking at me. Ah, this is where the head of the Sonozaki family would speak.
ミオンちゃん、お嬢さんは何か言ってたかい?
Everyone looked in my direction. I was sure they could see the hag in me.
園崎家当主代行
I'm definitely not
園
Shion.
崎ミオンです。本日は当主お寮に代わりまして出席させていただきました。よろしくお願いいたします。
I became Mion. I tried to become as cold and as unfeeling as Mion I witnessed a year ago. That cold version of Mion was inside of me. That was me. I was her.
不幸にしてお社様のお怒りは5年目にも下されることになりました。大変悲しいことです。
Everyone was held captive by my words. I wasn't a little girl anymore. The hag was speaking through my mouth. They all heard me and trembled in fear.
どうして今年もたたりがあったかわかる方はいますか?
After my question, everyone whispered to each other.
そう、西宮殿の禁を犯し、土足で聖域を踏み荒らして汚れを持ち込んだからです。
Oh man, how could they? A few elderly men got up and yelled.
あ、本当にが信じられん小僧どもだ。
Okay, senior, I'm gonna need you to, take a chill pill there.
お社様、お怒りをお鎮めください。
One guy's like, hey, let's just calm down. And the other guy's like, oh, they better die, those punks.
なんてこと、なんてこと。お社様、お社様。
これだからよそ者すっか。なんも考えねえ。ガクガクもないよ。さらんと。あれすってれんこってなるね。バチ当たりどもんが。
The angry old men yelled even as they trembled in fear. Their sudden change scared me more than a little. Even Uncle Kimiyoshi, who is usually so gentle and sweet, became like a demon of war, cursing those who broke the rule of the ritual storehouse. It had become like a raging ocean inside the assembly hall. Their yells spun about like a whirlpool. They roared, crashed, and howled. Even while doing nothing but watch, I could feel myself turning pale. Mion threatened me yesterday, and Kasai had been shocked this morning. What I saw before me was similar to that. Even the sweet and gentle Uncle Kimiyoshi was saying that they deserved to die. I was fearful of the sudden change in those elderly men. More than anything, the fact that they all believed that those people deserved to die for trespassing is what terrified me. It wasn't just that, of course. The real thing I was scared of was that I was one of the people that they wanted dead. In other words, it was almost like they were telling me to die of the curse. If they were to find out I snuck into the ritual storehouse, it was very possible that they would strangle me on the spot. Actually, they might not kill me that easily. By then, I was certain. The people in this room were true believers in Oyashiro-sama, just like the hag. They wouldn't hesitate to murder whoever made Oyashiro-sama angry on his behalf. Even if they didn't carry out the killing themselves, they would pretend they didn't see anything. Yes, not even if my head was cut off right in front of them. Everyone here would act in collusion and say I never attended today. If they all testified that they waited and I didn't show, I'd be demoned away. It would be far too easy for them to erase someone and have them disappear. There was no mistake. The people linking the hag and the curse were definitely here at this meeting. I continued speaking. I was Mion Sonozaki. I was on the side responsible for the curse. Therefore, at that moment, I didn't need to worry about anything. Nobody could tell the difference between Mion and me. That's what would keep me safe.
お静かにお願いします。
ほら、
Can't tell us to be quiet?
静かに静かに。
We want to keep yelling at them to die. Uncle Kimiyoshi helped me to quiet everyone, but his tone was violent. He really scared me. Everyone gradually became silent.
西宮殿に忍び込んだ族は4人。あと2人います。
People once more became restless upon hearing that, but Uncle Kimiyoshi yelled at them again and they settled down.
富武さんと高野さんは分別のつくお年だったはずですからね。お社様のたたりが直ちに下りましたが、もう2人は子供です。まだたたりは免れていますが、何のけじめもなく許されることはありません。
Everyone stayed quiet at that time. They had all turned genuinely pale, trying not to miss a word I said. After all, they were all thinking that the kids I mentioned could be their own relatives or even grandchildren. They wanted to know who they were to put their minds at ease.
その2人の老石者は園崎シオン、そして前原圭一。
I could feel the air getting drier. It was so dry it almost felt like it was going to start making a crackling noise.
園崎シオンはすでに
I couldn't even hear the old people breathe. I took a peek at Uncle Kimiyoshi, who was sitting next to me. He'd adored Shion as if she were his own granddaughter, but she had been demoned away. I wanted to see how distressed and sad he'd look. And when I saw his face... Ooh, I felt a sensation on my back, as if my skin itself was making a crackling noise. He didn't even have an expression on his face. Uncle Kimiyoshi adored me. I loved him and I thought he loved me too. That was why I expected him to be saddened after learning that I met with such a cruel fate. What was I thinking? The memory of his warm smile shattered inside of me. There was no way of describing the fear I experienced in that moment. In mere words. He had suddenly changed into someone I didn't even recognize. Uncle Kimiyoshi noticed me looking at him and spoke.
もう一人の前原圭一は？
まだです。
I had to take a deep breath to regain my composure.
西宮殿を犯した4人、すべてにお社様はたたりを下されるでしょう。前原圭一も例外ではありませんよ。
Alright, everyone, I need you to just walk behind him, and when he turns around, I need you to hide. So that way he'll, think people are just walking behind him constantly. It'll really freak him out good. Chilling looks. Cruel looks. Emotionless looks. Shrewd looks. And the looks of people who were about to snap. I could feel the demons chewing my words while they stared at me with their sharp eyes. I could see some of them sticking their snake-like tongues in and out. I could see flames in some of their eyes. They were memorizing the names of the intruder the curse had yet to fall upon. And so, the meeting went on. We were told not to tell the police too much, to report what they had asked us, and to hold another meeting whenever something of significance happened. If something unexpected took place, we were to get in touch with either the head of the Kimiyoshi family or the head of the Sonozaki family for instructions on what to do. With those closing remarks, the meeting was over. It was already getting dark outside. Being in a valley surrounded by mountains, once the sun went down in Hinamizawa, it got dark quickly. Even if it was hot during the day, it cooled down quickly at night. The elderly people said goodbye to each other and left on their bicycles, on their motorcycles, or in their car. Uncle Kimiyoshi waved them goodbye and started to head home himself. I called out to him.
君吉さん、この後ご予定はありますか？
I called him Kimiyoshi-san instead of Uncle Kimiyoshi. He stopped.
いや、何もないよ。
家へ寄ってもらえませんか？
お嬢さんが呼んでる。
No, she wants to see you in the evil dungeon, actually.
はい。直接会って話したいことがあるんだとか。
Oh, no.
じゃあ、やるかな。